Right, I've always said iPhones have the best video cameras out of all the smartphones on the market, really, and I stand by that. When it comes to recording professional footage though, or even semi-pro stuff, which I suppose is the category filming for a YouTube channel like mine falls under, it's a different story. And I have a problem with this because Apple have been advertising their iPhone cameras for professional use for many years now.
You can record pro-quality video at twice as many frames per second.
Surely I'm not expecting too much from mine. Let me introduce Exhibit A. I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, which has 3 lenses: ultra-wide, regular wide-angle, and telephoto. I'm filming a shot of this mouse, and to give the shot depth, I'm recording zoomed in roughly 3 times. I want the details visible, so don't want footage from the regular 1x lens zoomed digitally, as that loses quality. I want the iPhone to do what the camera app says it will, and switch to the 77mm telephoto lens for any shots above 3x zoom. Does it do this? No. The software within my iPhone, for whatever reason, has decided to continue using the regular wide-angle 1x lens to zoom in past 3x, and it's given me a grainy shot. I suspect it's chosen to do this because the regular 1x lens has a wider aperture and it is able to let more light in. Frankly though, I don't want to be second guessing the interface I'm using to control the camera in front of me. I think that's a classic example of how a more traditional device like a DSLR camera doesn't try to be smart with so much software controlling the hardware. I just rotate the rings on my lens of choice and be in complete control of the zoom and focus on a DSLR. Luckily for me, I don't need to resort to buying a camera. The Final Cut's camera app, developed by Apple, is intended to give video producers more control over their videographic endeavours. There are very clear labels in the app for selecting which lens you'd like to film with. I tap on the 77mm telephoto option, and there it is, exactly as I'd have hoped. In fact, the Final Cut camera app is pretty useful for getting the most out of your iPhone camera. It can finely tune the white balance, manually set the focal distance, and even perform these satisfyingly smooth zooms as though I'm pressing actual buttons on an actual camera. It shows my battery life and how long I can film for given the unused storage on my phone. Do not be fooled into thinking all is well though. I film my videos on a stabilised gimbal, as many people do. Among other things, it gives me controls for getting those slowly panning shots. The gimbal can start recording with this red button, which activates the volume up button on my phone. In the default camera app, and almost all other camera-enabled apps, the volume buttons act as shutter buttons, not in Final Cut's camera. This means anyone using a bit of kit like mine is going to be hindered in their video creation ability. The cynic inside of me wants to believe that Apple designed this so that when the iPhone 16 comes out with its dedicated shutter button, only those with the latest and greatest model will be able to start recording using a button on the side of the phone. Either that is the case, or the Final Cut camera app is just lacking a simple feature, surely. These problems are not a huge deal, I get that. But I try and release a new video every single week, and that means writing a 2,000 word script, recording the audio, editing both the sound and the video, not to mention coming up with the idea in the first place. Getting 5 minutes of video footage of something literally right in front of me should be right at the bottom of that list as the easiest thing to get done. Consistently though, my iPhone and its respective software gives me more to think about than I want to when recording. I'm not going to own this iPhone 13 Pro Max for long. Probably 2 to 3 more years, since Apple will add new features and my phone will become slow. The iPhone 18 might contain another lens to film with, perhaps an 8x telephoto lens. I don't need something that sounds cool in a press release though. All I could possibly want in a phone is within this 13 Pro Max. But simple things, such as recording video, are inhibited by some things that could easily be changed. I don't usually make videos about phones, but that's alright. At least I've expressed through video how I've felt about filming lately. Hopefully you guys kind of get what I'm saying. If you don't, or you don't agree, that's fine too. Just let me know your opinion.